I like that.
Yeah.
Anytime I walk in a room, I need to play that loud, you know?
Hell yeah.
We'll
I'll give
clip
you a good
it.
intro all the time, dude. Mark, what a crazy day in the NBA. I mean, we had All-Stars announced last,
Ugh,
Kyrie
yeah.
Irving stuff happening. Man, it's hard to catch your breath with
I
all of it.
just did a quick change. If anybody just saw me on TV, man, I got rid of the makeup. This is my natural look, you know.
Ooh,
And
his
and and
natural look.
you know, got a facial. I look good today. No, I took
Oh,
off the suit. I was like, let me throw on something comfortable because,
you got to wear the San Jose Spartan gear for sure,
yeah,
man.
of course, man. David Patrick will be mad at me,
Hey, he's got that Sac State program
but
going in the
you
right
know,
direction.
shout out to David Patrick. He
Yeah.
ain't sent me no swag yet.
Oh, come on.
You'll rock it though, right?
Yeah, and
Stay
I
with.
already told y'all the story about how I could have played at Sac State, but that's not.
Yes, you did. Oh my God, that's
Yeah, man.
insane.
You could have been just an iconic
They would have had
Hornet
a
for
Mark, yeah,
life.
Mark J. Spears statue
Yeah,
outside of there.
outside.
Um,
Nah, yeah, they can't afford that.
Yeah.
all right. Before we jump to the Kings, we gotta ask you, man, this Kyrie stuff. It seems like it came out of nowhere, but it's kind of what the Nets have had to deal with a little bit. You're hearing so many teams in the mix. The Lakers, the Mavs have been mentioned. The Suns have been mentioned. What's your kind of read on Kyrie Irving demanding a trade from the Brooklyn Nets?
I mean, it basically tells me that the contract extension that the Nets offered him is something that he didn't like. I'm sure there was a lot of stipulations in there in terms of, games played, um, expectations in terms of, what they need from him on a daily basis. That I'm sure he probably felt put him in a box that he didn't appreciate. And so, because I did hear that the Nets did offer something. But perhaps those stipulations is something that he didn't like, and he decided he wanted to try to move on a week before. From what I'm being told, like there is interest, and is there a lot of interest? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things too. Like as long as you can get two people bidding against each other, maybe you get something. But right now, GMs are telling me like they'll probably get role players back or expiring contracts. I heard the Lakers, but a GM told me, well, they don't think the Nets are interested in Westbrook. So if that's not the
Ooh.
case, then anymore. So if that's not the case, then the Lakers thing won't happen. I've heard Dallas, I've heard Chicago, I've heard
Whoa.
Miami. Didn't hear Suns. That was a new one, but obviously you throw the Suns in there because there was some interest in the Suns before, right? And if I'm the Nets, man, I'd try to figure out a way to move forward.
Yes.
I agree. I
Um,
think there's got, especially with his contract expiring, it's like it's not going to work there. You still have talent on that team. Like trade him
yeah.
for role players and see what you can do.
Wait, and Mark, that's going off of that though, really quick. Is that other teams when they do look at Kyrie because there's some interest there? Is it kind of intriguing that his contract is expiring, or is it more on the other side of things where it's
Well,
scary and they don't have that commitment going
I
forward?
think he's such a good player. You obviously want to re-sign him, right? And then perhaps if it's the right team, you could work out a contract extension before. But there's certainly a risk involved. As one GM told me, like it's just I really like him as a player, but there's just too much baggage that comes with it. Um, so that's what you got to weigh. I think there's not gonna. I don't see a young team like a Orlando or getting involved in this, because you need a veteran locker room. I think you need Kyrie in a place where he thinks he can win too. Um, if I'm being novice, um, fantasy GM here, you know who I would call?
Oh,
I would call the Toronto Raptors.
Mm.
And, because Fred Van Vliet's also in an expiring situation. But to play in Brooklyn, to play with Kevin, I could see Fred being open minded to going to Brooklyn, wanting to be there. It's a bigger market for him. I think Kevin would love playing with Fred. And also, I could see Masai being a guy that perhaps can be a GM that could get the best this Masai Ujiri out of Kyrie and
Mm.
figure out a way for him to sign. So you know, I in terms of places where it could fit, like can can Luca and Kyrie play together? I don't know. Um, Pat Riley and Kyrie, maybe if there's somebody that can figure out that puzzle to make it work, it's Pat Riley, right? But LeBron James did leave there too.
Mhm.
So, uh, but the Nets would get Kyle Lowry, which is a veteran guy who's won. Um, I don't know, man. I think Dallas is probably desperate enough to try. And remember that Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Nets, I'm sorry, the Mavericks, um, is a former Nike guy.
Yeah, so he knows Kyrie pretty well.
So I'm guessing that he has a really good relationship with Kyrie from their Nike days, and that he could like figure it out with him.
Mm.
So I'm gonna keep an eye on Dallas. I really am, because I think Cubans like got enough guts to try to make that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So if I had to, but it's like, well, for who? Like, if you're Brooklyn, who on Dallas that you could get is exciting. Is
Yeah, I was
not
mentioning
get
maybe.
Luca, like who else,
Yeah,
No.
right?
Christian Wood, but I mean, that doesn't really excite you at this point? I mean, his deal's expiring too, so that's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Hey, so All Stars were announced. Sacramento Kings fans, of course, were like, "Oh, Sabonis, Fox, they're both going to be in." Sabonis gets in, not a surprise. Fox does not get in, man. That really surprised me. Were you
I was
surprised by
stunned.
it?
I was stunned. I was
Ooh.
stunned. I wish I was in the room, or well, there's no room with all the coaches. They all vote separately, and I wonder if they thought, if Denver can't get two, why should Sacramento get two? But you got to remember, they're not in a room together. The coaches in each respective conference, maybe you guys can ask Mike Brown about the process. They do it separately typically with their coaching staff. I think they had to turn it in on Monday,
Okay.
and I was a little surprised by Markkinen over Fox. Not that Markkinen's not had a great year, but Utah hasn't played well in a while. I
What
think
about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
that surprised me as well.
Yeah.
But Memphis is playing great,
Yeah.
and he's statistically, you can make an argument that he's defensive player of the year. So maybe he's like this year's Draymond Green pick, so to speak, right? From a defensive standpoint. But ultimately, I wish we could see the stats on, like, okay, was Fox the last guy? What
Yeah.
about Anthony Edwards? Who, if Anthony Edwards made it, I wouldn't have been surprised too. He's averaging 23 points a game, a spectacular player. The one thing to keep an eye on, and I don't know if you guys are following this, right? I'm guessing you might have, but if not, I'm gonna say it. Forgive me. I don't think Zion's playing.
Yes. Yes. Definitely
And
following this.
so I was in New Orleans last week, and he was very non-committal about playing in the game, or giving a prediction. And I also think if he's going to play in this game, he's got to play soon, man. Like, for New Orleans, like, you can't be showing up 2 days, one game before the All-Star break, just so you can play an All-Star game. That's right now. I think he's really protective of his rep and how that looks. And New Orleans is struggling and needs him bad. So if he just shows up right before the All-Star game so he could play. But the one thing to think about there is CJ McCollum has had an All-Star caliber year, and sometimes because the commissioner picks, right?
No.
Commission Silver.
No.
You need to get on the phone with Silver and say, "Don't do that." And I'm with
Hey,
you. CJ
wait.
had a good
Let me
run.
finish. I'm
Okay.
just telling you guys. I'm
Yeah.
keeping it honest with you guys.
I appreciate it.
And I saw Morgan knows what I'm about to say. That's why she, like, I just feel like I just crushed all her dreams all of a sudden.
Say it.
I'm just keeping it honest with the people of Sacramento. Okay, CJ McCollum is a Pelicans player. Oftentimes, when there's a replacement, it could be a guy from the same team. CJ McCollum has had a really good season. He's a big reason why the Pelicans are even in a position, a top 8 position now. Maybe they fell out a little bit, or
they've only lost 10 in a row.
Hey.
Yeah. True. But before then, they were playing good without a lot of people. Their record should be much worse, right? Also, CJ is president of the National Basketball Players Association. So you didn't think about that, huh?
I did not think about that. You got a new CBA coming down the line. Someone trying to kiss up to CJ.
And he's gonna be in Salt Lake City anyways because he has to be there for CBA meeting.
Okay, so maybe Sabonis needs to sit out.
I'm doing a diary with CJ.
Oh man!
So I talked to CJ about, he's like, CJ really wants to make the team, and he's gonna be in Salt Lake, and so oftentimes with these things, it could get sentimental for the commissioner.
Or political.
Yeah, I'm calling it political. I do want to ask you about
that.
that.
So I say all this to say, if Zion does not play, I think it's between CJ, Edwards, and Fox.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on that. Trade deadline's coming up. I know some Kings fans are wondering, hey, are the Kings going to make any moves? You were really high on the Kings before the season. Are you even surprised at how well things have gone for them? And do you think they should look to make a move at the deadline?
No.
Okay.
I think the one thing is, I would say for team success in the postseason, there's 3 things that have to happen. 1, you need to obviously be good, right? 2, you have to have luck. But the third thing is you have to be healthy. And that is, the Kings have probably been healthier than any team in the West. Am I wrong?
No,
they have.
You're totally right about that.
Yes, I would say Sabonis he's hurt, but he's playing through it. Keegan's hurt playing through it. But yeah, for sure. They haven't missed games.
And so, I mean, the key to me is, I think the Kings are in a position now where in the buyout market, they could get somebody.
I agree.
And
I love
so
it.
maybe you don't need to do anything major. You just need to add to it. Like when I covered the Celtics, and I'm listening. I'm actually about to post a story at the same time, so I got like 8 things going on. When I covered the Celtics and they won in 2008, they added 2 guys late out the buy-in group. It was PJ Brown and Sam Cassell. Both of them played an integral part. Neither one of them started, but they played an integral part in helping the Celtics win a championship. PJ Brown sparked a win in the finals. Sam was just you had a young point guard in Rondo, and Sam helped lead him there. So to me, I think if the Kings are lacking anything, it's some more vets on the bench.
Okay.
And so, with all due respect to your, the guy that's going up and back from the G League to some of those guys, and if there are some vets that you could add to the bench, to take some weight off Sabonis, take some weight at Fox, help Fox navigate what the postseason will be like, I add those players.
Yeah, I think that's probably the smart play for sure.
Yeah, we keep talking about that being the way
you want
that
Kyrie?
the Kings
Is that what you're saying?
You do not start that narrative, Marc Spears.
The Kings have an all-star in Fox, right? So they don't need him. They don't need him.
Let's hope so. Let's see what happens.
Marc, we appreciate you joining us, and also I know Kings fans, dude. Kings fans really love you. You were on before anybody.
But I'll tell Kings fans this. I wasn't saying that just to
I know.
We know.
Hope to get a free meal at Polanco. What's it called? Polanco.
And the Doko. Yeah.
Yeah. or you get a free steak at the hotel next door, right? You know, I really believe that. I saw it last season. I saw it the first game that Sabonis and Fox played together. That pick and roll, the way Fox hugged him after that first game, I like saw it. And then it's funny. I was telling somebody the summer league press conference was Monk and Herter, right? Like I think it was us two, us three, and
Yeah.
it might have been
Couple
like
others.
5 of us there in this room that fit like 500, right? Like nobody was paying attention to it. But I went to the press conference and I'm like Keegan Murray's a dog, right? He's going to be a beast in this league. Then you add these two vets, add to this pot that they got, Mitchell. Like I was like, Holmes in a better position where he could just be an energy guy. Harrison Barnes, your third or fourth offensive option. I'm like, they're going to be good. And I know Mike real well. I knew he was going to build a foundation just like he did with the Nigerian team. It was a calculated guess by me, but I don't say that just to like throw something on a wall and hope it sticks. Like I really believe that.
No, we knew, and we talked about it in the off season a little bit, or I guess
And let me
before
tell
the season.
Sacramento, I deserve a free glass of wine.
Yep.
Because
I got you.
I took some heat, and it didn't happen yet. It's not done yet. Let's see what happens. But they laughed at me. They ridiculed me. They made me look like I was a jester, a fool.
Hey, you're getting a bottle, Marc J.
bottle?
Spears.
We're getting him a barrel.
If this team so as much as makes the playoffs, I promise I will be at that game.
Yes. We're all going to be buying you
King
wine.
fans don't see me and say respect, bro. Respect.
Marc, we do respect. We appreciate you joining us, man. We really appreciate it, man. I know you're busy, so thanks for carving out some time, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Hopefully, we see you at a game soon.
I'm gonna be waiting for my drink.
All right, deal,
All right.
deal. We'll get Marc J. Spears his wine, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We appreciate him, and he has been on it since the start. He not only said it once, he like tripled down on this.
Dude, he did. We were talking about him. We were talking to him on the podcast, and he just kept talking about it with so much confidence. And look, he's right.